everyone, for some more of my AFC Wimbledon career mode here on FIFA 21. And we are here at Christmas Day here in December of 2021. We are at the halfway point of season number 2. You can see we are well clear on top of the League 1 table. We are 14 points out of Barnsley, which we'll get more into that here in a bit. And then you can see Michael Olise is tied with 16 goals alongside the 8th from Blackpool on top of the goal scoring chart. You can see Ida with 12 and McLaughlin with 11. But before we get into things here, hope you guys have an awesome day today. Hope you guys doing well. But we are going to take another look at our manager, which I do plan on having him get a new hairstyle starting with the championship on. I want to have him look more like he did in the actual FIFA 17 game when MasterBucks played with him. Andre Dazelle has actually been one of my bright spots here this season, which I'll talk about each of the players whenever we get to stats and attributes and that. But Dazelle is one of the few players that I inherited from the MasterBucks squad that's still in this team. But we are going to look at this table here. Like I said before, we are 14 points clear of the Tykes in second place. Reading breathing down their necks. The Royals only a point behind them. Reading, Birmingham, Charlton, and Portsmouth make up the playoff spots. Now, I did show all these tables at the end of the last episode, but I'm going to go through them here again. But relegated spot, which we are on top of the table, whereas our arch rivals, MK Dons, are at the bottom, which they're having a stinker of a season so far. They've already lost 20 games, and they are 12 points behind 20th place Bolton Wanderers. The Dons, Leyton Orient, Cheltenham Town, and Plymouth are all in the relegation spots. FA Cup, we are in the third round of that competition. We are up against Coventry City. Round 2, we did beat Tranmere 3-1. Round 1, we did not participate in, which I think that's more for League 2 sides. Carabao Cup, we got knocked out early in that competition. You can see it's all Premier League affair here. Just show you guys. Which Barnsley made it to round 4, which is impressive. Which they end up taking Everton to penalties. And then we did get knocked out in the second round by Blackburn Rovers. We ended up losing 1-0. And we did end up beating Tranmere 3-0 in the Carabao Cup. So we end up knocking Tranmere out of both the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. But the one competition I do want to win this year is the Papa John's Trophy. And we are up against Cambridge United in round 3. We ended up beating Doncaster 3-round in the second round. Just real quickly show that. And we did win both the group stage games in this competition. We did beat Grimsby Town and Crawley Town. League 1 playoffs, hopefully we won't have to worry about that. But here's another reminder of how we did in the preseason tournament, which I gypped Andre Yvonne out of lifting a trophy. The European competitions I'm not worried about until at least the end of the season. But like I said before, Olise is tied with Yates on top of the goal scoring chart. Ida with 12. McLaughlin with 11. You can see Yvonne with 9. Olise also with the most assists. So he has 25 goal contributions in 19 games. You can see Lorazabal with 6. Thomas with 7. You can see a bunch of other players right there. Vandervoort with the most clean sheets with us with 7, which not a whole lot of clean sheets. And Ferreras with 5. Not a whole lot of clean sheets as to what we were accustomed to last season in League 2. But you can see none of our players getting clean sheets. Olise already with 2 goals in this 2 assists in this competition. Andre Yvonne is our leading goal scorer here in the FA Cup with 2. 1 behind Doyle, Bishop, and Allen. Carabao Cup, really don't think there's anybody here in this, because we got knocked out kind of early, which I didn't think so. Papa John's Trophy, Ferreras with 2 assists, 2 clean sheets rather. Auer with the most assists in this competition for us with 2, and then Ida with the most goals for us in the Papa John's Trophy. As I look at the I'm not going to get into specifics or anything like that, but just in case you guys want to see the International Cup. But now we're going to be taking a look around Europe. Well, not Europe, but we're going to take a look around England, starting with the Premier League. And no surprise, Manchester City on top. They are in the midst of an invincible season, although they were on top of the Premier League at the halfway point last season, and then Liverpool ended up overtaking them. But you can see Wolves and Leicester 5th and 6th respectively. Southampton in 10th, Newcastle not all that far from relegation. You can see, speaking of relegation, Fulham, Brighton, and Preston are in the bottom. Looks like the newly promoted sides are Burnley, Watford, and Preston. But we are going to take a look at the Championship now. Let's see how things look here. Brentford and Bournemouth are on top. Sheffield United, Leeds, West Brom, and Derby County. Wow. Derby County's in the playoff spots considering their struggles in recent seasons. But relegation, Rotherham, Luton Town, and Sunderland are in the relegation spots. And in League 2, Salford City, Crewe Alexandra, and Southend make up the 3 automatic spots. In Port Vale, Newport County, our FIFA 19 Road to Glory side, Cambridge, and Forest Green make up the playoff spots. And if relegation was a thing, Harrogate Town and Barrow, the 2 teams that were added on FIFA 21, they were the newly promoted teams to League 2 at this time, are on the bottom 2. Now we still have $27.25 million in budget. I am looking towards spending that towards the end of the season if I can, but we're going to look at board objectives right here. Within 2 seasons, I want to have at least one player play at least 50 games next season. We do have 1 player and 1 player only, which I'll show you that here pretty soon. 10 wins, that wasn't that hard. Now, this game initially did show that I had 1% towards this particular objective, but for whatever reason, it's showing 0, so I'm not sure what the story with that is. We're on our way to winning the league title. FA Cup. I think if we win our next FA Cup game against Coventry, then we will fulfill this objective, and then we'll be simming the rest of the games here on out. I do not expect us to get anywhere near as far as we did last year when we reached the final, but whatever happens, happens. I will be simming from the round of 32 on. Now take a look at that youth objective that I need to fulfill. We are going to take a look at our player right here. And it is Jay Stewart. Unfortunately, he is too young to be promoted, but you can see he is already at a 64 rating. Hopefully he can get to around the 66, 67 rating by the end of the season. And hopefully, more importantly, that he will be age 16 but before the end of the season. But we're going to take a look at his attributes right now. You see, it's only going to take him another week to reach a 65, so that's good to see. But we are going to take a look at the transfers that we've made. You can see a couple loan. I'll talk about the Isaiah Brown signing here in a bit. I did get him from the free agent market. Proctor finally going out on loan. Brian, I was able to get and offload him. The only player I need to sell yet is Ryan Kent. I have yet to get an offer for him, even though he's 81 or 82 rated. You can see I finally sold Leandro da Silva Lopez. And a bunch of other free players I either sold or sent out on loan. But we're going to take a look. Going to go out here. And we're going to take a look at our squad. You can see everybody, which I could kick myself because I could have swore I had Lamptey on the opposite side training plan, and I was wondering why he wasn't going from 69, but apparently I did not put him on the plan, and then as soon as I did that, he automatically went to 70, so hopefully he can get to either 73 or 74, but you can see Lorazabal has already grown by 5 this season. He started off as a 69, he's already a 74. McLaughlin grown quite a bit. Elise has grown by, I think, 3 since the beginning of the season. Longstaff has grown by a couple. Dozell has grown by a couple. Ampadu has grown by a couple. Adarbi Oyo has already grown by 3. He's up to 74. And Guinness Walker has grown like a weed. You can see our backup team. We only have 4 players that are not a 70 in the backup squad. So you can see Chilufya is already at 70, Hours up to 68, Ida's up to 71, Alexander, lowest rated player, at a 65. That's still pretty darn good for a League One player. Ferreras is up to 68. But we are going to go ahead and look at stats. And Ida, no surprise if we look at the charts, 21 goals, 6 assists, and 19 appearances, grown by 3. Definitely, I do want to play him more often because I'll talk about this soon. But I think Ida is going to end up being my starting striker sooner than what I planned. But I'll talk about that here pretty soon. But you said Olise, 19 goals and 12 assists, 31 goal contributions and 25 and 25 appearances rather. Weird thing about Olise is, on his good day, he is spectacular. But when he's having a bad day, he is among the worst players I've ever seen. And that's actually one of the reasons why I brought in Isaiah Brown, is to try to give him at least a little bit of competition in that cam position. Andre Yvonne, now I gotta talk about this guy. This guy won both Player of the Seasons in the MasterBucks career mode, and he was my Player of the Season last year. But this season, despite his 15-5 and 22, he has been absolutely awful for me this season. Awful. As a matter of fact, he's been so bad, I actually stripped him of the captaincy and gave it to Longstaff earlier than what I anticipated. But he has been so bad for me. I am going to give Ida a bit more playtime, and I think Ida is going to be my starting striker a lot earlier than what I anticipated, because that's how bad Yvonne is. Unless he has a blinder of the second half of the season, he is not going to be my player of the season this year. And speaking of player of the season, if I do have to name somebody, it is a player of the season, I do have to give it to this guy. Shane McLaughlin, 12 and 4 through 22. This guy's been absolutely amazing out in that right wing position. He has not put a foot wrong. He hasn't even made a mistake as far as I remember so far this season. So he is going to be my player of the season so far. Edward Chilufya, or Chilufya, however you're supposed to pronounce that, the Zambian winger, 7 and 7-19. Not too bad. Auer has been a very frustrating player for me, despite getting 6 and 7 through 16. This guy's been very hit and miss for me. Andre Dozell, if I have to name a second place of the player of the season so far, I have to give it to Dozell. He is a close second behind McLaughlin. And he is a player that I got from the MasterBucks squad, whereas McLaughlin was a default player that was part of the AFC Wimbledon side on FIFA 21 rather. The Reservoir grew by 5. He's already grown. He's already up to 74. He is exactly. If I'm being honest with you, I think he might be even better than what he was during my Saarbrücken career mode. This guy's been absolutely fantastic for me. So George Thomas, much like our hit and miss, I do have him loan listed because I don't want to sell him this season, but I do want to send him out on loan if I can. And in the beginning of next season, I might look to let him go because he's been very... I have not been too super pleased with George Thomas this season. Nesta Guinness-Walker is up to 76. Doing fantastic for me. Longstaff, as good of a player as what I hope to be. He is my new captain. He's grown by 2. Loyadice, excellent backup center mid. He's kind of making me regret I didn't use him at all in my D-Zone career mode. That's how good this guy's been in my eyes. Woodyard, I believe he is going to be leaving us in January. Now, Isaiah Brown, I did, because as good as what Olise has been, he's been very irritating at times, so much so that I saw Isaiah Brown and I scouted him and I saw he was the same overall as Olise. And I thought to myself, well, I don't know how much George Thomas is going to go throughout the season, but I want somebody in there just in case something happens with Olise where he pisses me off so much I don't want to play with him for a little bit. So I decided to get Isaiah Brown from the free agent market, and he's already got 3 goal contributions and 4 appearances. And to be honest with you, I've liked this guy in the cam position more than I've liked Olise, so who knows? maybe even as early as sometime next season, this guy might end up usurping the starting cam position from Olise, but who knows? But he's going to give... he and Olise are going to be in competition for that cam spot, and I've been absolutely loving Isaiah Brown. And I did get him, I believe it was FIFA 20 that I did my Luton Town career mode. He was awesome in that as well. George Dobson, I'll keep him for this season, though I do plan on selling him at the beginning of next season. I'm still waiting for an offer for Madeline. Rudoni, I believe I have him loan listed. Asal, I have him transfer listed. Carol Mitch is a guy that I'm going to keep around for now, but I am going to be selling him next season. And Jay Stewart, with the American that I have, that's going to be doing that youth development objective, he is going to be taking Carol Mitz's place in the squad. So I am going to keep Mitz for this season, and then I'm going to be offloading him. Hopefully I'll be getting rid of Brian Kent in January as well. Hardigan, I have him transfer listed as well, alongside Zanov. Nightingale, he is going to be leaving in January alongside Joe Bryan. You can see some of the players are on the loan right now. Vergara is already grown by one during his time at Swansea. Moyano has grown like an absolute freak for me during his time at Al-Fata, or whatever, Al-Fire, or I think it's actually Al-Fire that he's out on loan, but he's been growing magnificently during his time on loan. You can see Aguilar has grown. Hopefully I get a loan offer for Byler, which actually could replace... Ooh. You know what? I could actually replace Byler with Alexander. I might actually transfer list Alexander and then keep Byler. I might actually take him off the loan list, because I don't think anybody's going to be coming in. Byler is actually... If I'm not mistaken, he is the only player in this squad I have that actually plays for AFC Wimbledon in real life. So I think I'm going to be keeping Byler, and I'm going to be getting rid of Alexander. Not on loan, but on permanent transfer. Chislett, I'm waiting for an offer for him. Ewan Proctor will be going out on loan. I'm waiting for an offer for Thomas May. If I don't get a loan offer for Thomas May at the end of January, I'm going to be transfer listing him. Patrick Shepard, hopefully I'll get a loan offer for him. Same with Adam Clark. Ronnie Wyatt. I think Ronnie Wyatt is actually going on loan in January alongside Dobson and Webb. Paulo Sue is my backup left back. You can see Ferreras as my backup goalkeeper. 8 clean sheets and 16 appearances is very good, but not quite the numbers he was putting up last season in League 2. Levin Schultz has grown by a couple. He's grown despite me having Ethan Ampadu as my starting center back alongside Tosin Adarabioyo, but you can see he's already grown by a couple. Tosin has grown by 3. He's at a 74. Lamptey has grown by a couple. Though I do expect him to shoot up and overall now that I have the right development plan on him. And then Van der Voort, not quite having as good of a season as Ferreras, but 7 clean sheets and 19 appearances. He has grown faster than Ferreras. Well, actually, he's grown at the same rate as Ferreras, but we're going to take a look at player attributes. Zanov, I'm looking to move him on. Ferreras is my backup goalkeeper. You can see wide backs are here. Joe Bryan, those are his final stats before he leaves. Osu, our backup left back. Nightingale is going to be on his way out. I don't remember if I changed development plans or not before I started recording. But Ewan Proctor will be going out on loan. Thomas May, hopefully I'll be getting an offer from him. Same with Patrick Shepard. You can see Tosin's stats right here. Yeah, I think I did look at development plans before I started recording this. You can see Lamptey, I finally have him on plan. Shea Alexander, I think I'm going to move him on, especially since Byler is growing like a weed of an. He's not played a single game for me yet in this career mode. That is definitely going to change. A couple of our Youth Academy center mids we have. Longstaff, doing the job for me. Loyadice, excellent backup center mid. Dozell having a wonderful season alongside Longstaff. Dobson, I'll be keeping him this season, but next year I'll be looking to move him on. Woodyard, I think I'm moving him on. Thomas, hopefully I'll get a loan deal for him, and then I'll be looking to move him on beginning next season. Elise is my starting camp for now, but like I said, Isaiah Brown is breathing down his neck, and he's been absolutely amazing for me in the cam position. Let's take a look at Isaiah Brown's stats right there. Ryan Kent, hopefully I'll be getting an offer for him. Auer been inconsistent. Chalufia been excellent so far. Lorazabal, every bit as good, if not better, than what he was in my Starbuck in career mode. McLaughlin, like I said, if I have to name a player of the season, this guy would be it. Andre Avon has to step it up in the second half of the season, or else he's got to be on the bench. And despite being 4 overall lower rated, Adam Ida will be my starting striker, possibly as early as the beginning of next season or the later part of this season. So, yeah, Andre Avon has a bit of a bullseye on his back in terms of expectations. But we are going to go ahead, take a look at some of the transfers that I've made. It was a straight swap with Julien Ngoy, which I know I showed these at the beginning of the season, but I'm just going to go ahead and show them anyway. And you see Isaiah Brown. We only got, despite being a 73 rated, I only got him for £12,000 a week, which is amazing considering he has a $4.6 million value as well. But one thing I am planning on doing in this particular career mode, I have not done since I think it was either FIFA 19 or 20, is that I am going to be exploring pre-contract signings. And just to take a look at some of the players that I have shortlisted that I may eventually go for in the future. I thought about getting Chris Richards, but because I have Jay Stewart waiting for next season, I'm going to just hold off on him for now. Herrera was a guy that I was looking for free agent market, and he ended up going to Montpellier. A couple guys I should have scouted, but they're not. These guys, I should just take them off my short list because these guys aren't going to amount to anything. Ronan has already gone to Monaco. Ferrari, I'm still contemplating getting him, even though I got plenty of goalkeepers as it is. Brian Hill, I don't think I'm going to go in for him at any point. Same with Busio. Now, I am looking at 2 people to bring on a pre-contract signing, and one of them is Ander Kappa. He is 81 rated, right back. He is 29 years of age, so I think I'm only going to be able to get like maybe 2, maybe 3 seasons out of him, but he is going to be a right back option, give some competition to Lamptey, because I don't know how fast Lamptey is going to grow, but he is his contract is expiring, so he is a player that I have shortlisted as a pre-contract signing potentially. Luis Felipe is another one, a center back. I do plan on possibly moving on Schultz next season as well. It just depends on whether or not I'm able to get and secure Luis Felipe on a pre-contract signing, but that's a possibility right there. And a couple of center mids that I have, I'm scouting right now, like Josh Anoma and Sanyan Percic, that I have scouting right now. And those guys are at the end of their contracts as well. So that's 4 people that I'm looking at possibly bringing in a pre-contract signing. And as a matter of fact, I've been scouting a lot of people. Which a lot of these guys that are on here have signed new deals. So there's a goalkeeper right here that I'm looking at as well. If I can find him. Maybe he's not here anymore. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think he's here anymore, but There was a goalkeeper that I was looking at, but for whatever reason, he's not on this list anymore. But I think that's pretty much it I want to talk about here. Again, one final look at the squad. Now, the next time I see you guys, it will probably be... Probably going to send these games off camera. The next time I probably see you guys will probably be whenever the Papa John's Trophy final will be. If we make it there. If we don't make it there, then we'll be... Next time I see you guys will be around the point where we hopefully clinch the League 1 title. You can see the League 1 season ends on the 30th. But I'm thinking maybe 3-4 more episodes left of Season 2. And at the beginning of the next episode, I'll show you guys if I made any pre-contract signings or anything like that. Or maybe I'll wait until the final episode of Season 2 before I show that. But I do plan on doing some stuff off camera. Couple changes I'm going to make to the squad. Like backup squad, I'm going to be putting... Byler, or whatever his name is, in there instead to replace Alexander. And we'll be seeing you guys. It's going to be a bit of a jump in the calendar, but we'll be playing... Next time I see you guys, we'll be playing either Papa John's Trophy final, or we'll be playing where we clinch promotion to the championship and possibly lifting the trophy. So, hope you guys looking forward to the rest of the second season here with AFC Wimbledon. I'm having an absolute blast with this team, despite some of my players being a numpty so far. Onto Yvonne, I'm looking at you. You gotta pick your game up. But, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this. Hope you guys are enjoying the series so far. I'll be seeing you guys again next time.